Well, good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. Hard times are coming. Of that I have no doubt. But I tell you what, they're not coming for everybody. And I want to talk to those of you who they might be coming for in hopes of giving you a little bit of things to chew on so that they don't come for you. Okay? All right, before we get to there, I want to remind you that our annual gathering, second annual gathering, is coming up this Saturday in just 5 days, 6 days, whatever it is. October 4th, 2025 in Olathe, Kansas. If you want to come, you're invited since you're a viewer here or a reader of the Stonemont series. You'd better get your registration in, and all you got to do there is go to our website, stonemont.us, go to the tab that says events. That'll take you to the page. You can register there. Let us know that you're coming. Doesn't cost you anything. Stonemont is picking up the tab for everything. It just costs you the gas that it takes you to get here and the hotel room if you want that. But you will have a great time. We got some great people coming. Looking forward to seeing everybody that I met last year and spending a little more time with you and meeting all the new people too. And you will find some of the most exceptional people that you've ever met if you come to this. You won't find any arguers, you won't find any warriors, you'll find some warriors but not worriers. You won't find anybody who approaches preparedness in a negative way. It's all going to be PMPs, preparedness minded people, those who approach it in a positive manner. Let me get resituated here. There we go. And it'll be a great day. So get your registration in. If you want to buy, this is the official mug for the gathering. As you can see, Stonemont, got the Stonemont Bison, Integrated Preparedness, second annual gathering, Olathe, Kansas, October 4th. And on the back, of course, it has our tagline: we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. The Bible axe and rifles, the symbols of Stonemont, and Semper Paratus, always ready. And the fact that you are a PMP, you are not a prepper, just a prepper. You're a PMP, a preparedness-minded person. If you want to order one of these, you can do this through the website too. You'll order them through there and then pick them up at the event. Let me take a sip and then let's get started on this. So, I started off the day as I always do, checking in on some of the news and channels and things like that, and and seeing what the tempo was, the tempo and the temper of the preparedness community was. It's pretty much the same. We had those attacks over the weekend, and they're still, what can we glean from that? Well, it's a dangerous world. Have we talked about that before? I think we have, right? How much more can we beat that dead horse? It's a dangerous world. Be prepared. You're responsible for, your own safety and security, and so be responsible. These things, are they happening at an increasing tempo? Yeah, it seems like it. Seems like it to me. We had both those situations. And why? Okay, let me touch on this for just a second. Okay, I will touch on it for just a second. We had that shooting up at the church in Michigan, and the one down there in, was it North Carolina someplace, I forget where the guy shot up the restaurant or bar from his boat. Both of them were former Marines, about in their 40s. Is that something that we should consider? Is that a total coincidence, or is there something more than that? Well, I'll let you think about that yourself. I don't know. It's one of those things you consider, you put in the back of your mind, but I don't see any reason to go running with it. There was a number of other attacks, but these are just attacks. The world is becoming more violent. We have more people. We have more nuts. We have more people who are divided over things. That's true. And are we in the beginning throes of a civil war or a revolution? I think that we are. Okay, I think that we are. So I'll just say that. But that's not the point of. But so be careful and prepare yourself. Okay. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the hard times that are coming for some people. Now, I made one the other day, and talking about how you were being lied to by so many news outlets and to be honest, Prepper Channel, telling you how horrible things are, economically, everything like this. And I was giving some information, some information from where I live, okay, and what I know. And I explained that the information that they were putting out just wasn't true, or if it wasn't totally untrue, it was at least packaged in order to be misleading. And I got a lot of people come on and say, "You don't know, in my area it's bad, and you can't raise a family on minimum wage." Yeah, and I made a comment on it. You were never supposed to raise a family on minimum wage. But I got a as I always do, some feedback, pushback, but feedback on that. The point that I want to make here is that hard times are coming for some people. And you know what that means? It's not coming for other people. What's the difference? What is the difference there? I don't want you to have hard times. The reason that I do this channel is try to put out information there as a result of my experience and my knowledge so that you don't have hard times. I explain to people there's no hard times around here. And then they get mad at me for being some kind of, I don't know, I'm lucky or I'm, whatever. They don't realize, that luck is disguised as working your ass off. But, there's something to that. And the reason that hard times don't come around where I live is because the people who live around here have made different decisions than those people who live in areas where there's hard times. Okay, now there's several reasons that there could be hard times. It could be where you live. If you live in an economically depressed area, okay, then you do. And my suggestion there would be to move. I always, I get a kick out of the fact that when people tell you to move out of the city, everybody thinks, thumbs up, that's great, yeah, get out of the city. But if I tell you to move somewhere where you can make a better living, oh, you're just you're just an entitled boomer and all that. Well, that's where people do better. And I'm going to give you an example here in a minute. So it could be where you live, and if you choose to live in a place that's economically depressed, and you don't have a profession or an occupation or a trade that lifts you up above that, well, then you're going to stay there. Now, even if you do have an occupation, if you're a plumber or if you're an electrician or you're a handyman or whatever like that, and you're living in an economically depressed area, you're not going to make near the money that you do if you live in a better area. Simple, or if you drive, and I'm going to talk about that too, to a better area. The second thing is the attitude that people have. Some people are just seem to be addicted to hard times. It's how they view themselves. It's how they it has become a part, and some of this is generational. It's passed on. My daddy didn't, if it was good enough for my daddy, it's good enough for me. Drive an old truck and tires you can see through, and I'm just a working man, which means I'm honest and all, a real working man, a man who's working enough, probably got good tires on his truck, right? So it could be, your attitude, and whether you see yourself as just that depressed kind of person, or you're trapped in a depressed lifestyle, or whether you see yourself, hey, I can do better than this. I can do more than this. I can live in a better area. I can improve myself. I can I can increase my education. I can increase my understanding of the world. I can, all sorts of things. And life is full of, history is simply the story of those who have prepared themselves better as opposed to those who have not. And preparing is a lot more than just stocking food and being able to grow a garden, right? And so, it could be where you live, could be how you think, and then it could be kind of the depression that you allow, but this goes into thinking, really, how you allow the rest of the world to have an effect on you. And too many people have this victim mindset. They're gonna wallow in this negativity that people want to shovel on top of them, and it's comfortable and it's warm, and it's kind of like, hey, shovel more, horse shit on me. It's just nice and warm in here. I don't get it, but to be honest, that's why a lot of people get hooked into that. Well, it's the same old shit, but at least it's the shit that I'm used to, right? And then of course the other decisions that a person makes besides where they live and kind of how they view life is, well, how do they make their money and how do they spend their money? Okay. And there's a lot of people out there always complaining, always whining and complaining about hard times and all that, and yet they've got all the toys. They've got all the toys. Well, it's not my intent to put anybody down, so I'll stay away from what I was going to say. It was true, but I'm not going to say it. Just because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I know people think that I come on here to hurt feelings all the time. I don't. I just tell the truth, and there you go. Like Harry Truman used to say when they said, "Give him hell, Harry," he said, "I just tell them the truth and they think it's hell." Well, that's the truth in a lot of cases, right? There was a guy, a rich guy in a small town just southwest of here. This is, 30, 40 years ago is when I heard the story. And people would come to him and ask him all the time to borrow money. And he would, he was the big guy in the small town, right? Probably wouldn't have been a big guy in the city, but he was a big guy in the small town. Had a farm and a couple of businesses. People would come to him and say, can I borrow blah, blah, blah? And they'd ask him what for, and they'd tell him, and sometimes it was legit, and sometimes it was just the latest sad song, can't get ahead. And he'd say, bring me your checkbook. This is back when everybody had checkbooks. Now he'd say, bring me your cell phone and bring up your bank account so I can check everything. They'd bring him his checkbook. A lot of times I'm sure they didn't want to, but they wanted his money. So he'd bring it. He'd go start going through it. Start looking through it. He'd see where are they spending their money. And he'd go through all this crap. Okay, here's something. Here's got some waders for from Cabela's or Bass Pro for however much they cost. Why'd you buy those? Well, I gotta have them to go duck hunting. And we'd just go down through the whole thing, and he'd show them all the stupid things. I'm not saying that waders or duck hunting is stupid. But if you don't have the money to make ends meet, duck hunting, they're not hunting ducks to feed their family. So he'd go down and he would show them all the stupid stuff that they had spent money on. And from what I hear, because I never met the guy, I just knew about him, only a few used that lesson to turn their lives around. That's not surprising, because when you tell people the truth to try to help them, most people don't really want help. That's what's different about this channel. If you're here, you really want to learn. Now, many people who are here already know it, because we don't have most of the negative people come here, but we have new people coming all the time, and this is my message. This isn't a channel where I'm just going to stroke the poor baby vibes. Oh, life's tough. We're all in this together. Well, that's another thing. We're not all in this together. We're all in this alone. And that's another thing that people need to realize and accept. You're in this alone. It's up to you to decide what you're going to do. And it's up to you. You're either going to reap the rewards or suffer the consequences of the choices that you make. But most of the people, like I said, only a few people apparently would take his advice and learn from it, and they would do better as a result. Most of the people would just get in a huff and get all mad like people do at my videos, when I tell them to do better and make more money. And off they would stomp, stomping their little feet, being mad at the person who told them the truth instead of trying to improve their lives. The town that I'm talking about is much like any small town in America, probably. It was about 20 miles outside of a major city. Hey, buddy, headed to work? Or I'm making a video, but that's all right. You can talk. Oh, yeah, you're gonna go test drive that car? All right. Well, have a good time. Make a good deal. My oldest son just leaving the house. I thought he was going to work because he works all the time, but he's going out to test drive a new car. You know why he can test drive a new car? Because he works his ass off. Works. And so he's not going to go out and buy some beat up pickup truck with bad tires. He's going to go out and buy one that is a good vehicle. Okay. So back to this little town that I was telling you about. It's 20, 30 miles outside of some fairly well-to-do suburbs. Okay, and yet you would go down there and you'd see the girl working in the Casey's, right, or the guy working in the tire shop, and the girl in the Casey's making $8-10 an hour. And I know some places in the country people making a lot less than that. $8-10 an hour and trying to raise a couple of kids. And her husband works every now and then, or works maybe in the tire shop for $15 an hour. You take another sip. They live in a little house with bad insulation, have a hard time keeping up on their bills, don't go to the doctor when they need to, and think that life is stacked against them. When they could drive 30 miles, she could come into the suburbs and get a job making $20 an hour. If she's, as a receptionist someplace. Or at a Casey's, I don't care, wherever. The money's so much better here. And he could come up to the city and work in a tire shop or in a whatever and make $25 an hour, but they don't do it. They don't do it because I won't say they are trapped, but well, they're trapped by themselves. They trap themselves into this lifestyle that has become comfortable and normal for them. They see that it's normal. They think that it's normal. They don't realize that it's not normal for everybody. It's normal for them. They have allowed their sights to be set so low that they're never going to be able to hit a higher target. And as a result, they are going to suffer. They are going to be the ones who are coming into hard times. I'll tell you a story about a girl that used to work for me as an aerobics instructor in one of my gyms. And she was black, and there's a reason that I'm telling you that. Had a guy come on yesterday and try to make an issue about all these white people killing each other. He was black. I answered him with a whole dose of truth. I imagine he's mad at me. I don't care. Maybe he's not. Maybe he listened to me. Maybe he said, I wonder if this guy isn't being hateful, if he's being truthful. Maybe I could learn. But, I hope so. But hope is cheap. I'll indulge myself. So this girl, she was black. She lived way down in the hood. Now, by the time I met her, she was already in college, right? But she said, and she was telling me the story. She's 15, 16-year-old. She wanted to be a lifeguard. I don't know why, because there's no pools in the hood, But she had this idea. She wanted to be a lifeguard. She didn't know how to swim, but she needed it. She knew that she just had this thing. She just wanted to do it, right? She said she took buses. She had to take 4 different buses, different connections. Take one bus to this spot, wait for the next bus. Take that bus to the next spot, wait for the next bus. 4 connections to get out into the suburbs where she took swimming lessons. And then she went on and got her lifeguard certification and became a lifeguard. She did what it took. Thousands more stayed down there and complained about life. And when hard times coming, well, hard time is always coming for those people. Always. Hard time is never coming for that girl. I haven't seen her in years, but I guarantee you she's doing well. Hard times are always coming for those who won't work to get out of them. And there is a big, and wallow in that pity party of whose fault is it? Because it's not my fault, right? Not my fault. Well, it is. Well, the lives we live are either our fault or the result of the better decisions that we've made. Now, we have things coming along right now that I think are going to be challenging in the very near future. We're coming into the winter time. That can be a dangerous time. I'll make another one about that. But we're coming into what I consider to be the most dangerous time of the year. Talk about that later. But the times ahead are going to be hard for those who don't work their way out of them. And for those who have worked their way out of them, they're not going to be that hard. I'll be honest. I'm not worried about anything. Nuclear war, I don't know, maybe, who knows. Grid down, I'm ready. Yeah. End of the world, Jesus come get me, take me home. I'm ready for that too. World war, well, can we ever be ready for that? Here's the thing. People are trying to keep you all upset and all wound up about Russia and Ukraine and Venezuela and this and that and the other. You can't do anything about it. And they're not giving you any solutions. They're not giving you any answers. They're just keeping you all stirred up, right? Don't get stirred up about something that you can't have an effect on. Be ready. Realize, how might this affect me? And then say, okay, well, I'm going to do those things. I'm going to do those things that I need to do so it won't affect me any more than absolutely necessary. But you don't go, oh my gosh, these things are horrible and things are going to happen and life sucks and I don't know what to do. Well, better your position. Number one, strengthen your family. Well, number one, strengthen your relationship with the good Lord. Number two, strengthen your family. Your strength here comes from those two sources primarily. First, from the good Lord himself. Secondly, your family. Your family is your group, your basic group. If you have problems in your family, you've got problems. Fix them if you can. If you can't, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I'm sorry. But you still have to do the best you can. So that's the thing. Count on the Lord. Fix yourself. Depend on your family. Strengthen yourself and your family. Strengthen your circle of friends. Keep an eye out, keep an ear out over what's going on in the world. But just realize that your focus should not be on what's happening around the world, but on how it could affect you. And the two are different. Because you can't have any impact on what's happening in the world. You can have an impact on how you let it affect you by the preparations that you make. Okay. Now, I hope that hard times aren't coming for you. It all how you prepare, all how you look at it, all how you see life. all how you take responsibility for your own life, as opposed to, you know, crying and complaining about it. You know, one of the songs that I hate more than any other is that "I'll take the dirt road. It's all I know," right? And then that other one, "Song of the South." What is that? What's the line in that? Uh, uh, Mama got sick and Daddy got down. The bank took the farm and we moved to town. Gee, Christmas. I mean, that happened to a lot of people, and it's bad. But you know what? It didn't happen to a lot of the people, and there's a difference in who it happened to and who it didn't. And the difference was the choices they made. Now here, you want to make a good choice here? Let me show you a good choice. If you haven't read these, my books, the Stonemont series, for anybody that I haven't insulted and ticked off, and I shouldn't, because everything that I said is just trying to help, right? I wrote this because it was, there were so many negative books out there about the end of the world and collapse of society and all that. So I wrote the first book, The Reversion, and then people wanted more, so I've written now, it's up to seven books, novels, sequential novels, the Stonemont series. It's about, it's how to totally prepare, survive, and rebuild after a total collapse of everything. The guy that wrote the foreword in the first few said it's an unbelievably positive story about an unbelievably negative situation. And that's right. This is all about positive responses to, preparations, all that. Bad things happen. I talk about all the bad things, but I talk about how to deal with them, how to prepare for them, how to deal with them. Okay? If you would like to read them, and if you haven't read these, and if you're interested in preparedness, or if you're interested just in a good, you know, SHTF story, you'll love them. You can get them a couple of different ways. One is through Amazon. You can always get them through Amazon, and that link is down below. You can get them a better way, and a way that I love it, and that is directly from me through our website, stonemont.us. And when you order it from me, first off, you can buy the whole set. You can't do that through Amazon. And you get a discount when you buy the whole set. And you'll want the whole set. But then I sign each one for you, and I write a note in each one for you. And I love it when you do that, because I feel that I have a relationship with you. And I love my relationship with my readers, just like I do with my viewers here. So if you want to read a positive story, it's about positive mindset in the collapse of everything. It's about the strengthening of the family, the community, trust in God. It's about all the traditional values that really strengthen life. You'll love them. So you can get them, like I say, either through Amazon or through our website, stonemont.us, right down below. But the important thing is that you realize what's coming up in your life depends on you. It's going to be hard times, or is it just going to be, okay, well, this is just the latest thing that I prepared for, and maybe if I've prepared hard enough, I can help other people. You know, that's an important part of preparedness. It really is. Okay, so hard times, they're always coming. There's always something coming, right? How it affects you depends on you. And that's why we always say we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. Get out there and do something well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.